Oi! Welcome to the Muni Lot Report. I am your host, Nabil Habib, and here I am again with my co-host, Mike Lewis, the genius, the editor, everything. He does everything.
The nothing.
Yes, he's a great. All right, it is Texans week. Yes, we come back from a very heartbreaking loss there in Arrowhead.
It was so close. Few mistakes at the end of the game that really cost us that game. But otherwise, I said, if you scrapped up those few mistakes, I mean, the Chubb fumble, the punt, botched punt, that's the one that really hurt us.
Yeah.
And then the Baker interception. But I mean, I will say, he tripped up as he threw. I think that's what kind of cost that interception. But I think he was really trying to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you. But those three little mistakes, cost us the game. But I want to touch on one thing that happened in that fourth quarter is that throw to Anthony Schwartz.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I mean, it was a little bit behind him.
Yes.
And so I think now people say we don't need Odell, we don't need that, or you play better with Odell, without Odell. I mean, if Odell was in there, that ball's caught. I think that right there shows you how much we need him. So I mean, all the haters against Odell Beckham.
I agree.
I think if that was Odell with the speedy guy going deep, he would have caught it. So I think that is the case for Odell. I don't think we need Odell against the Texans. So rest up. Week 3 though. Week 3.
Exactly. I think they came out there and they took the game to the Chiefs. They put the ball on the ground. They controlled the clock up until, the third quarter. They weren't able to bring a lot of pressure on Mahomes, even though he was the fourth most pressured quarterback in the league this Sunday.
He did get pancaked.
Yeah, he got this
between Clowney and Garrett,
sandwich,
which was really cool. Almost happened twice. But when they got that sack between both of them, I was like, this could be glorious. Just stay healthy, Colin.
Exactly. Mahomes put on a show. That's why he's the best in the league.
Yeah.
You took on a triple threat there, and Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill, and they put on a show. They did what they did. I think the Browns defense definitely had a lot to take care of, but once again, they went to that prevent defense.
Yeah.
And then they went away from it in the second half, which, was a head scratcher where they went to a single high, and that's where you really start to see them go over top with Tyreek Hill.
75-yard touchdown.
Exactly.
For really no reason.
I can't say that the defense played a terrible game. Everything was very crisp, the play calling, at least on the offensive side of the ball. But when it comes to the defensive play calling, I felt like it let the team down. You had a lot of opportunities where we had to shut it down and we were playing too far off the ball and they were getting everything underneath. That's a big problem for me. But it is Kansas City. You have to play them a certain way. You got to limit the big plays, which you got to take that, you got to take those small underneath plays against them. But I think in the end, it did come up and haunt us towards the end of the game.
Do you think it was the play calling, or do you think it was just them not meshing at the moment? Because, you saw a ton of potential, them as individuals out there, right? How talented they are individually. Yeah. But I think, it will take, obviously you said, I think half a season, if not more, for them to just mesh. But when they mesh, I think it's going to be really awesome. Do you think it was Joe Woods, or do you think it was them just not being able to mesh at this time, being at week 1?
I think the big difference, you saw week 1 last week, and then look at, where they left off in the playoffs last year. There's a huge difference. There's talent. And, they almost played the same exact defense that they did in both games. There was a little more pressure than there was in this game. I'm really leaving it down to play calling. You didn't see many blitzes. It was like, all right, Miles, Clowney, McKinley, go out there and get it. the linebackers were dropping 20 yards back, or they should have played maybe a little more underneath. You're leaving Kelsey in one-on-one situations, which you don't want to do.
Or even, that 75-yard touchdown pass was, John Johnson was covering
Yeah.
Tyreek. Why?
Even though it was one-on-one coverage there, I think that was a very fluke play, and only Pat Mahomes makes that play. John Johnson was all over him. He was all over him. That was good coverage. Tyreek was just able to turn around and make a play on the ball, and that's that. It's just, you had that play bottled up. No one makes that play besides them.
That's true. To throw, and I'll say this till I die. Literally, these new quarterbacks, especially Mahomes. He plays like how I played Madden when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When you set it to like the easiest difficulty, and you're just, one of those running quarterbacks can just run for 80 yards.
Yeah.
But you're going to run in there. You know what? I see this. Just press it, loft it up, down, and someone will catch it. That is a NFL. That's a Madden play. That's a Madden play that you would make.
I think to continue to talk about this defense and how they play, I think there was one guy that really stood out to me, and I was surprised he got to start so soon. Malik McDowell.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to talk about him a little bit later on, but he came out the first play of the game. He blew it up for a two-yard
really
loss. Well. Yeah, he's showing why he was a second-round draft pick. A lot of setbacks as far as his behavior goes, but it looks like he's starting to turn a corner. He's starting this week against the Texans, and I think he's gonna make a big difference. So he's definitely gonna be one of those players I'm looking forward to watching this Sunday.
Yeah.
But another person I want to definitely point out that had a really great game was the rookie Greg Newsome. He played the most snaps on the Browns defense. I think he covered about 97% of the snaps from Sunday. He was given the third highest defensive rating on the Browns defense according to Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
I think he probably only gave up maybe one or two catches. It was quiet outside of Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. No one else was making plays.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward definitely had his hands filled, but I think he played a great ball game. He was, whenever they assigned him to Tyreek Hill, he was definitely there. There was that one play that ended up on that sideline that could have been a pass interference, but if you go back and watch that play, Denzel Ward was all over Tyreek Hill that whole entire play. Just because you have to play Kansas City differently.
Yeah.
You're playing not much of a strong offense in the Houston Texans. You need to go out there and take advantage of them. Take the game to them, which is one of my keys to the game. You got to take the game to the Texans here.
Be a sponsored segment.
Exactly. I want to get it sponsored at some point.
Brought to you by Cowtails.
Cowtails. Keys to the game.
You imagine if Cowtails sponsored that? What a weird company, right?
Hey, they're one of my favorite. I love Cowtails.
I agree. A lot of people agree with us, but I'm a big fan. So
yeah, but definitely key. One of the keys to the game: be aggressive, take the game to the Texans. Take advantage of that home field advantage. The dog pound's going to be going.
Oh yeah.
The stadium's back full capacity down in
Muni
First Energy.
Muni Lot's going to be crazy too.
Exactly. Muni Lot report.
Let's get it.
Meets the Muni Lot.
I think the Texans are kind of being overlooked right now. I don't think they're the best team in the NFL. I think they're more towards the bottom, part of the NFL. But at the same time, they're still professional football players.
Exactly.
These guys can't be overlooked. Anytime you overlook a team, you've basically already lost because these dudes still get paid millions and millions of dollars, and they're there for a reason. And I think as much as Tyrod is bounced around and kind of being screwed over, this is a little bit of a revenge game right here for him because Baker did take a spot. Injury or not, Baker did come in, and he never got another start with us. So I think that's going to be a little bit of an interesting dynamic to it. Although I don't think it's going to play a giant factor.
Yep.
But I also think Mark Ingram is a pretty good running back.
And then you also add Philip Lindsay to that bunch there too.
Yeah. So I think they do. They're not like I said. I think a lot of the guys are, lower half, but they're still really good football players.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing, is where I think a lot of people are like throwing this game away as total win, total blowout. But should they? Yeah. They totally should. But I think when you actually think about it, it's still a professional football team that have some strengths.
Yeah,
last week Tyrod played really good.
Yeah,
he played really well.
They came off from a hot start. Their defense leads the league in interceptions. They picked off a rookie quarterback 3 times.
That's my other point. It was Jacksonville, so
it's gonna happen.
We'll see.
Tyrod looked very crisp. Comfortable. He's one of those guys you can plug in and you can expect him to do his job.
Yeah.
And he can make plays. I think a very important thing the Browns got to do this week is keep Tyrod in the pocket. We don't want him being able to make those plays where he becomes dangerous, where he can get out of the pocket and go make a play. Got David Johnson, Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram.
Yeah, they are. They're good running backs. They're not great running backs, but they have depth where they're going to be fresh pretty much consistently.
They're going to be able to throw a different look, a different style of running at you throughout the whole entire game.
But also none of them are going to be tired.
Exactly.
And that's the big key factors where they're going to be fresh because they're not great. But they do have some depth of pretty good guys.
Yeah.
So, I think that's going to be a big part of it.
And then another aspect is the read option, where you can see Tyrod Taylor take the ball, keep it, and run. That's another threat you add to this game. Something that Lamar Jackson does very well. Yeah. Being able to be a mobile quarterback and add a different aspect to your offense. I feel that the Browns may struggle with. They definitely struggled with Mahomes, but he's a different breed.
Yeah.
I feel like with Tyrod Taylor, you're going to be able to, keep him in the pocket, set the standard for the rest of the game.
So I kind of think this game is going to be a really nice preview for Lamar. Because if you think about it, a scrambling quarterback that likes to run, Tyrod, I think, would be a great kind of practice for Lamar and kind of see what we can kind of see. So I think JOK is going to be involved.
Exactly.
I think more than he was last week, but I think this can be a nice test for him because
exactly. This is a nice challenge for this linebacker core. Early injury, a lot of these young guys we've seen before, and it only gets younger now without Walker being out there.
And so I'm guessing they haven't announced it yet, I don't think, but with Walker being the play caller, who's going to call the play? Is it going to be John Johnson?
It's starting to sound like they're going to move Malcolm Smith to the Mike linebacker to make the play calls. Another key injury on the offensive side of the ball. We didn't get to call it last week, but Odell Beckham once again is missing another week. Browns fans, we need to calm down. An ACL injury is not very easy to come back from. What it was sounding like, okay, he looked like he was ready to go, but that's not always the case. If you're not able to go out there and play 50, 60 snaps, you're hurting your team.
Yeah.
That's someone else that can go out there and play more. I think ideally, I'm just going to take a guess, we didn't hear this news until last minute because they wanted the Chiefs to, take the time and game plan that Odell Beckham's going to be in the game.
Which is funny because now we knew what was it, on Tuesday or Wednesday that he said he's not going to play. So I think it was kind of a strategic kind of planning of releasing that information.
With Odell not being out there, we didn't see a lot of variety in our receivers. We saw a lot of Anthony Schwartz, which was very surprising.
It was good, but we saw I think 4 snaps of Higgins.
We didn't see much of Higgins.
It was 4 snaps, man. He should have got a lot more, in my opinion.
Not many Donovan Peoples-Jones.
No, not really.
I think he's going to take a lot more snaps out of most of the receivers this week.
We did a lot of 3 tight ends last week.
Exactly, which I liked a lot.
I liked it. It was cool.
That's exactly what they need to do. They got 3 tight ends that can go out there, catch the ball. They can block. Very versatile. And Njoku is starting to look like he's coming into his own.
He really is. Yeah. Which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, he looks like he's got the sticky hands on the team now.
Which, I kind of do want to talk about this maybe a little bit later, but if he starts playing really, really, really well, and we're paying Hooper a lot of money.
Exactly.
I like Hoop a lot, man, but
it's going to be a conversation that's going to be held.
It is.
We're going to see a lot.
Because especially if Njoku does become a kind of a number 1 talent, which I think he has the potential to, being number 1 tight end. He's going to want that money too. In my opinion, I think at this, how it goes right now, I think Njoku is kind of like the standout piece in my opinion. Another thing I really want to touch on is confirmed by Stefanski is Grant Delpit is making his debut this Sunday.
Oh, for real? Oh.
Yeah. So Grant is officially playing this weekend, and I'm really excited about this. Because I
think we all are.
Dude.
We had to wait a whole year and a game.
Yeah. So I think this is. I don't want to take away from the Texans because I think they do have good players, and I think they have. It's an NFL team. They totally have potential to win this game, but I think it's a nice ease into the kind of into the game of being okay, you know what, play, have your thing, and see how he does. I think that's a really kind of a nice kind of game to kind of test the waters.
The Browns need to go take the game to the Texans. They can't expect them to roll over. This is a team that just came off a very good win, even though it was against a Jacksonville team. But they went out there, they got 3 picks. Tyrod played a very good game. I think this week the Browns can go out there, continue the rhythm they showed on Sunday offensively and defensively, be a little more aggressive, let Miles, let Clowney go out there, do their thing. You got a secondary of, top tier players, and they need to go out there and do their thing. We can't be hesitant against the little brother in the Houston Texans. They need to go out there and win this game. Okay, 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Houston Texans, who come in undefeated, 1-0.
1-0.
12.5-point underdogs.
Woof.
To your Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's your score?
I really just don't want to underestimate the Houston Texans. I really don't. It's 34-13. Don't get me wrong. I don't say I want to underestimate them, but I do think we should win comfortably.
Picking the Browns to win, of course. They're at home. The dog pound's going to be hyped. First game back, full capacity. People are going to be filing in. I'm picking the Browns to win, 28-10. I will say this. I do think we haven't seen the best Browns team yet.
No, I agree.
I think we've seen a very good Browns team, but I feel like they could be even better.
Finding it, man. Finding it over and over. Getting the dub. Keep rolling. Getting dub.
Okay.
All the way to the tub. And I think yes. I think we're gonna win this one, and I think we're gonna look good doing it. So I think that's it.
Thank you for watching
for this week.
Our second episode of the Muni Lot Report.
Yep.
And go Browns.
Go Browns.
Let's be safe. Take care of the ball. Thank you very much for watching.
No beers this time, but brought to you by Cowtails.
Cowtails. Ding, 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 ding.